fully brief I am saying, all these places he was successful. 19, 17, 18, all these places he was successful. His name grew. And again Britishers even started seeing him as a central figure for Indian representation. So this was the situation at that point of time. And Indians were part of the British First World War struggle. Indian soldiers took part in the First World War. Somewhere in Andaman also I happened to see the First World War memorial. Somewhere I saw a memorial. First World War written to this way. In many places. Maybe so. I saw a memorial, First World War. Indians who have laid that is 1914 to 1919. Many places it is there. In Bangalore, in Brigade Road, how many have gone there I don't know. Maybe in Brigade Road you can see a big First World War memorial. So First World War, how many Indians lost their life for British? When Indians participated for British, lost their lives for British, gave their money for British, the tax was taken away. So Indians' contribution for British winning the First World War was very immense. After that, Indians were expecting that British will reward Indians with more relaxations in law, at least dominion status they will give. What is dominion status? See, dominion status means the king, head of the state, like the president today what we have, that will be the king of England. Rest government will completely be controlled by Indians. Indians will be the prime minister controlling everything. Namesake head would be the British king. Got it or not? So that is dominion status. We expected such dominion status would be provided for Indians. This is the expectation. But Britishers also promised that they will be providing. Meanwhile, the Home Rule League of Tilak, Home Rule Movement of Annie Besant, all were demanding numerous legal rights to be brought. When they were all demanding this, listen very carefully. You will be studying about a concept called carrot and stick policy of British. So when we expected carrot from the British, that is some good things to come from British. British first used to give the stick, beat us, then throw. Because if you start giving more, like our politicians, maybe not everywhere, some places they are good. Okay, but many places what? Till date after 70 years, what are the main items? Roti, kapada, makan. Okay, another 50 years also, roti, kapada. If roti, kapada, makan, you get what? You will ask for internet. You will ask for smartphone. You will ask for anything. Okay, so initial items should be there. Okay, some are good people, believe it, like your MPG. Okay, it is a real thing. Only person who is doing, I suppose. Really, only person I am saying, out of 543 who is doing this. 543 MPs. Really, that amazed me, first of all. Anyway, maybe he is not in the mainland. That could be the reason. Fine. Here, the thing is that basic, Indians were expecting more from the British. But what we got? Jallianwala Bagh we got. We were expecting a law which favors us. But what Indians got was Rowlatt Act. First of all, what was brought was Rowlatt Act. Rowlatt Act means, the act meaning is Anarchical and Revolutionary Crimes Act. An act was passed. It was called Black Act, Rowlatt Act, because the person who brought it was Rowlatt. So Rowlatt Act, this act, without any legal trial, one can be arrested. It had lot of gags, lot of things, lot of gags was there. Getting it or not? So when this was there, when Indians were expecting a better law to serve them, what we got was oppression in the form of Rowlatt Act. People protested. Furthermore, stick oppression in the form of Jallianwala Bagh. So already Indians were disillusioned. It was in this time this 1919 Act came. Nevertheless, this act is one of the very important acts. But at that point of time, Indians protested against this act. In fact, Bala Gangadhar Tilak called this act as a sun without a rising. Sun without a rising. In fact, the non-cooperation movement was launched after this act came. When Indians were expecting dominion status, we have got stick, and dominion status was also not here. But what are all the important items of this act? Very important, and why I am saying is, after this we have 1935 Act. But Till independence it was this act which was in practice. Till independence it was this act which was in practice mode. I am saying it till independence. This act had a preamble. Preamble means the opening to a law which we have to our constitution now. 1935 Act didn't have a preamble, but this act had a preamble. Listen, here very frequently asked question. How many times, how many exams I cannot count. To that extent frequently asked question. Diarchy in provinces introduced by which act? Diarchy in provinces introduced by which act? Listen very carefully. Diarchy in center means the whole meaning changes. 1935 Act. Diarchy in provinces. 1935 Act. I will say what is diarchy. But diarchy, write down. Diarchy in provinces. 1919 Act. Diarchy in center. (1935) Act. Diarchy in province, right? Next one. Diarchy in provinces was abolished by the 1935 Act. Okay. Now keep full stop. Listen to me. See here. What is this diarchy? Diarchy means dual rule. Okay. What dual rule? Or dual government, dual administration. Okay, fine. Listen to me. What? Diarchy in provinces, I am saying. That means there were numerous provinces. Madras province, Presidency, Bombay province, United province, Bengal province. Likewise, province was there. Northwest Frontier province. So these provinces were there. In these provinces, today, if you see 7th schedule, today in constitution, if you see 7th schedule, it would be divided into union list, state list, concurrent list. Union list, some 100 numbers would be there. State list, some 66 numbers would be there. Concurrent list 47. Forget concurrent list now. Just think of union list and state list alone. Today, what does that mean? In 100 items that is there in the union list, only the central government can pass law. Got it? In 66 items there in the state list, only the state government can pass law. This is the union list, state list. Here what happens is diarchy in provinces. That means a set of items were given to the province that these items you can make, center will not interfere, you can make law to provinces. But what has been given to the province, that gets divided into two: reserved subject and transferred subject. Understanding or not? Take a look. See here, transferred subject, reserved subject. For example, if for provinces 100 items are given, that is, in this 100 items, the provincial government, state government, take it that way, understanding, can make law. Getting it or not? In that 50 is transferred, 50 is reserved, for example. So reserved is 50, transferred is 50 means this is reserved for governor. Their legislature, who will make law usually? Usually who makes law? Legislature makes law or not? But in provinces, legislature will not make law. For 50 items, the governor of the province will make law on that 50 item. 50 item, the legislative council will make law and it will go to governor, he will sign. But 50 item, reserved. So completely it is not given to provinces. Getting it or not? Understanding or not? That is called diarchy in provinces. Understood? The same thing was abolished in 1935 Act and diarchy and center was brought. Understood? Keep that in mind. This is important. Last class itself I have told. 1861 onwards, legislature means we mean only one house, that is lower house. 1919 Act for the first time brought in bicameralism at the center. Upper house and lower house. Upper house and lower house. Two houses. Listen to me very carefully. There are two houses in state also or not? Which state? Any one state you say. Because you don't even have a legislative assembly. You don't have one house itself, you are asking two houses. Andaman, you are not having a legislative assembly, and so. But in states there are two houses. For example, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Maharashtra, Bihar. Two houses like upper house, lower house. Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha we have no. Vidhan Sabha, Vidhan Parishad. Lower house, upper house is there in states also. Not all states. Few states have. Got it? Few states. That states, provinces having two house. 1919 Act it was not there. That comes only in 1935. I am saying it here also. 1935 again I will repeat. Two houses at center comes in 1919. Two houses in provinces comes in 1935. Okay. See, that one keep it in mind. The 1892 Act itself, a form of indirect election was announced. But 1909 onwards, for the first time 1909 onwards, elections, I forgot to say that, elections started taking place and in the form of first past the post system. What kind of election are we practicing? Now, democracy has different ways in which democracy can function or democratic voting can take place. Our method is what? First past the post system. That means what? First past the post system means what? No. Who gets elected, I am saying. See here, in India we follow the simplest manner of democratic election, the most simplest manner of democratic election. What is the simplest manner of democratic election? First past the post system, anybody will understand. What is it? Everybody runs. Whoever comes first is declared elected. Getting it or not? That's all. Likewise, criteria is there who can stand in election and they stand in election. There is no fixed point, you shall get 50% above, then only no, nothing like that. If you, for example, 10 votes are there, 3 people are standing in election, 10 votes are there, 3 are standing in election, in which 2 are not coming to vote also. Okay, so 8 are only voting. Of the 8 that is voting, 1 person gets 3. Okay, another gets 4. Another gets 1. The one who gets 4 is declared elected. But he has not got, so if you compare that one, already 2 didn't vote. 3 plus 1 voted against him. So 4 plus 2, 6 people against. The person who got 4 won. Really speaking, 50% he is not getting. But that is not the case. Proportional representation item that will come. We follow the simplest manner. That is, whoever comes first declared elected. Finished. Getting it or not? From independence till date, I am saying central level. No party has got more than 50% vote. At best, if I'm not wrong, in 1984, Congress got 47% vote. 2019 election, BJP got how much percentage vote? I'm saying BJP party as such. 38. Before that, 31. No, from independence till date, more than 50% vote, nobody has got. Okay, but we follow the simplest manner. That origins of it come from 1909 Act. And 1919 Act, little more number of people were allowed to vote. So from 1909, little more in 1919, little more in 1935. But even then, very less number of people were allowed to vote. One GK related question. The first province to allow women to vote was Madras Presidency. Madras Presidency was the first province to allow women to vote. Okay, just to keep it in mind. Anyway, that was Justice Party was there at that time, I suppose, and there, this one. Here, separate electorate for Muslims 1909 we saw or not? Now, the Britishers extended separate electorate to Sikhs, Europeans, Indian Christian, Anglo-Indians and all. They extended to everyone. Getting it or not? Separate electorate was extended. Then Public Service Commission was set up. Union Public Service Commission, sanction to set up it came from 1919 Act and it was set up in 1926 under the recommendation of Lee Commission. Union Public Service Commission. Joint Public Service Commission, Provincial Public Service Commission was set up from 1935 Act. 1919 Act, these things were set up. Then provincial budget got separated from central budget, important one. For the first time, every province was allowed to have separate budget. When? 1919 Act. 1921 onwards only, railway budget was separate. From 1921 to 2017, 17, we had a separate railway budget. From 17 onwards, railway budget was merged with general budget. Now it is merged with general budget. Got it or not? Fine. So these are some of the important items relating to 1919 Act. Got it? So, Anglo-Indian, there is a definition. For Anglo-Indian Constitution defines. That is European descent. Okay. They are Europeans with Indian, European, Asian, their descent, particularly male descent of Europeans. You take it that way. But today, whatever relaxation given for India, Anglo-Indians, today there is nothing left for them. There is no relaxation as such for Anglo-Indians. Anglo-Indians are those Britishers, Europeans, whose offsprings are from Indians. So the parents are from either of the race, both races, Asian as well as European. Okay, particularly British. That is Anglo-Indian. Got it or not? So with this we stop now. I will be providing the notes relating to it and it will be circulated to you. You need not worry about that. And with relate to what I have said on the communal issue, though I haven't finished that one. And you can